Go.
Hey, Tim, good to see you again.
Hey Chuck, how are you? Good to see
Doing
you.
really good, man. Hi, I'm Chuck Schumann.
I'm Jen Scott, I'm the CFO here.
Jen Scott, the CFO. Nice to meet you. I've dealt with Tim in the past. And how long have you been with the company now, Jenna?
2 years now.
2 years now? And how do you like your role as CFO?
I love it.
Now, are you in a position of power over Tim? Are you his boss? Or what's this dynamic like?
I like to boss him around, but he's really not my underling.
I understand. Tim's a good guy. Did you go shooting this weekend?
I did.
How'd you shoot?
Good. Very
Excellent,
good.
man. Really good to hear that. Hey, listen, I really appreciate you all both taking the time to meet with me today. My commitment to you is that I'm going to, get it through everything. We're going to talk about, the demo that we had before with Tim, and I'm not going to waste your all's time today. And I want to, make sure that we're able to move forward today. Does that sound good?
Wonderful.
Great. Now, just to confirm the, way that you all set everything up, Tim, as long as you approve of the schedule, the investment schedule that I show you and the technology and everything, Jenna, you're the one that signs off on this. There's nobody else that needs to be involved in this process.
Just us.
Okay, perfect, yeah. And that brings us, I want to talk about the demo a little bit that we did. Some of the things that we had issues with the old Canon system that you all have in there, especially at the main location with that 65 page per minute Canon machine. You were saying that Debbie was having to spend a lot of her time, it's very complex to scan, and she was running into some issues with the scanning. Is that correct?
Yes.
And then in the demo, we showed you how, with the use of our templates and the, Toshiba technology, that scanning function is much quicker and it'll eliminate a lot of the issues that Debbie was having.
Saved her a lot of time.
Absolutely. And so, with those templates, would we be able to set that up with Debbie, or is that something that you would handle?
He set up with me.
Set it up with you, okay, and we can definitely take care of that. The other issue that we talked about was the other 5 locations besides the main branch doesn't have a color capability, correct?
Correct.
And so in this technology refresh that we're looking at, we're going to look at putting some color systems in there so that everybody has access to that. You mentioned that Gary, who's at the main branch, he's your all's big, main sales guy. He prints a lot of brochures. He wants to print banners and that sort of stuff, but he has to outsource everything. And so he's running into a lot of, cost. I think you were saying like $200 to $500 per month that he's spending.
Around $450.
Around $450. And so by us putting, the Toshiba systems in there that have color, it'll eliminate him having to outsource all of that and take up the time and the money. And you can see how that's going to help Gary get out and just sell, so he doesn't have to do a lot of that, extra stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
That sounds wonderful.
Great. And what we can do is we can train, Gary on that, how to, set everything up. And the good thing too is we have department codes that we can put on, each of our systems. And so by that department code, you can set the color quantity. So that Gary doesn't go nuts and print 20,000 brochures in 1 month. You can say, here's your allotment, and that allows him, you all to control the fiscal cost that way.
Excellent.
And so the other thing that we talked about was the security. That's very important. You all are a financial institution. And one of the things that you'd like to be able to do is allow your better customers to come in and do copy and print services. And with all your all's, important information on there, it can be a little dicey to have people, accessing that copier. And so again, with the department codes, we can also set up a color. We can also have that so that, your branches have all access to your information, and that they can set up department codes for the customers so they can use it. You all can track that for them, and also you can make sure that their information is secure as well as your all's bank information is secure. With our Toshiba systems comes a HDD overwrite. We also wipe the hardware clean at the end of the life cycle on that if that's something you all want us to do. And so that's one of the things, that's going to make your all system that you currently have much more secure, isn't that correct? Mm-hmm. And I can talk to you, Tim, I guess, about all the security features.
Anything security-wise needs to come through.
Go through you, perfect, yeah, I'll make sure that we do that. So tell me, Jenna, today, what's your dream scenario? What would be a win for you after we talk about the investment schedule?
I would like to get this taken care of as quickly and cost efficiently as possible. We have had enough aggravations with this Canon.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to be dealing with it anymore, and I want something that's going to save us money and time.
Absolutely. And when I'm able to show you that we're able to do that, is there any reason why we can't move forward today?
Not for me, Tim.
Great. Now, before we talk about the investment schedule, I don't want to go into a big rah-rah speech about how great Toshiba is, but I do want to let you know that we are the direct manufacturer, we're a direct OEM manufacturer for Toshiba, so we work directly with the manufacturer. And what that means is you get 100% official Toshiba OEM parts and supplies. And by doing that, we're able to guarantee 100% the quality of the parts and supplies in all of your systems, okay? We have award-winning telephone help service line where if you place a service call, they reach out to you within an hour, and they can do remote, help and take up a lot of that time, to get everything fixed. The other thing, if a tech does need to come out on site, they're able to do that within 4 hours. We average about 4 hour time when we guarantee that. And so you have a team dedicated to your bank. Our field service technician is Josh. He's a local guy. He's great with computers. He actually builds them on the side. He's very, very, intelligent. He's great at this. He's been doing it for about 10 years. Darcy's our supplies rep that works with you all, make sure you have all your toner and supplies that you need. And she's great at this as well. So I've known her, Darcy, for like 15 years. She's been in this business for like 60. She's really, really good at what she does. And so this is the kind of expertise and customer service that you would come to expect from a direct manufacturer. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
The other thing that we do that I like to do with all my clients is we set up a 90-day quarterly review where we just talk about how the service is going, how the systems are functioning, if anybody needs an additional training or anything like that. As a total solutions provider, we want to make sure that we go over everything with you all and that you all are happy with our service. So we've set that up every 90 days, and I personally come in and do that with you all. Now, Tim, I know I'll probably set that up with you. Jenna, would you like to be in on those meetings as well?
Normally he'll handle them, but I would like to be in the first one.
Okay, absolutely. So let's get down to it. I want to show you, Jenna, and this is what we discussed, the new systems that we're going to be placing into the different branches. At the main location where you have the old Canon 65 page per minute clunker, we're going to be putting in an eStudio 6560C, refresher technology with that brand new system. Your monthly investment is going to be $898 on that, and your overage charge is going to be .0062 on mono and .0141 on color. Okay, and then over here where we're replacing all these old dumpy Canon 35 page per minute, only black and whites, we're going to be putting in a 35 page per minute color unit, and for that the investment is only $298 per location. Okay. Okay. And the overage on that is .008 on the mono and .0531 on the color. Okay. Okay. And also, we didn't discuss this, but we all of these different HPs. Tim was mentioning that you all do the service on this on your own. Yes. And so within this investment, we're able to also provide service for these HP printers as well. And so all of that will be under contract. You'll have just the one vendor. Okay.
That sounds wonderful.
Absolutely. Okay. So if you could verify for me that this is the correct legal name of the bank that you all go by.
It is.
Okay. And we set up the standard lease agreement for the warranty, for the investment schedule that we discussed and for the price for the investment. And what we're going to do is we're going to set it up for a quarterly overage. So that way, if Gary prints, 5,000 brochures once a month, in 1 month, and then doesn't print any color the next month, instead of billing you the overage for that 1 month, we do it by quarter, and so we set it up that way. It's a little more ideal for you all. Does that make sense?
Yes, that sounds perfect, actually.
Great. Now, if you could, I just need you to authorize here and here.
I do. Before I do that, I do have a concern that the cost might be too high. I'm okay. I have a little sticker shock with the 800 plus month cost for the main unit.
Oh, I understand. Yeah, and investing in any technology, is always a concern with cost. What is it specifically about the cost that scared you?
For some reason, I was not expecting it to be that high. Is there a reason for that number? What's the cause behind that number for us?
When you reference that, you mean the number just on the 6,500?
Yes, for our main branch.
Okay. So the increase to go from mono to color isn't a...
No, that I expected to go up. It's the main campus unit. I was expecting it to be about a comparable machine, and for it to go up that much a month.
Were you expecting?
Concerns me. Well, it's at 70 more a month, and it's a little bit more than I was expecting. So I'm trying to understand where that cost comes from.
Yeah, I understand. If I hear you correctly, you're saying that you love, the scanning technology that the new system's going to bring, the color quality, the level of service that Toshiba, being a direct manufacturer and a total solution provider, can bring to you. It's just that the $70 additional per month on the one unit is the only thing that's causing you pause.
Yes.
And so, is there anything else that would keep us from moving forward on this today?
No.
Okay, because actually, I've run into this before, and you asked, the reason for that. And so what we find is, I'm working with, one of my clients is Don. He's over at First National Bank. I don't know if you know Don. Yeah, great guy.
Mm-hmm.
But we, actually used what we set up for them as a case study for this investment schedule that I created. And because what he found was that with the increased scanning that we have, it's going to be removing a lot of that time from Debbie, having to do the complicated scanning. You were saying that took up what, an hour and a half?
Hour to an hour and a half per day, every day. Yeah.
And so that's going to knock out a lot of that for her. And so he had a similar situation where his people were having to outsource, they were out of the office, they were also just fumbling with these systems, or their systems would be down and they had to call service. And so with all those soft costs that he was incurring from his people not doing what their job was, that the $70 a month really wasn't that much of an increase, in order for them to, reach their goals for what they wanted to do. And in reality, they were saving money on the back end. Doesn't that make sense?
Yes, it does, and thank you for explaining it that way. I was a little concerned if that makes sense.
Great. Now I think we can move forward then, can we?
Yes.
Great. We'll just authorize here for me. I felt like the first one was smoother.
Yeah.
There